Okay, Mark, 6 months since we last spoke, how things are going here at Stifford?
It's going well. When we had our Ofsted in November 2008 and we came out good, we were delighted. We were concerned at the time that could we maintain that level of improvement, and because we had moved quite a long way in a short space of time. But our results in 2009 actually, I think it's fair to say, exceeded our expectations both at Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. So we're really pleased. We do know we can't take our foot off the gas pedal, because there's still lots of work to do here, a great deal of work. We've had, as I say, 2 years of good results now. The present year 6 and the present year 2, we have some concerns. The present year 6 didn't do particularly well when they're in year 2, so we've got a lot of work to make up. But I think we've got a good team here, and everybody's committed to moving forward. And certainly Sarah and myself have really been pushing the aspiration that we want to be an outstanding school. I think if you aspire to be a good school, you'll stay a satisfactory stroke good school. But we want, if you aspire to be an outstanding school, hopefully you'll have more aspects of outstanding features in lessons, and you will be a good, really solidly good school overall. And that's what we need to do.
And how do you do that, Sarah? How do you say, right, I'm a good school now, I'm going to jump up to outstanding? How do you do it? Do you plan that? Do you have meetings? Or?
Well, the last time we met us, we actually spoke about an inset that we had with Andrew Burnell, that we worked with the teachers on looking at what actually is an outstanding lesson, what is a good lesson. So it's giving them the ownership and giving them the training and the coaching that they need to know what it is, what tools they need to achieve that in the first place. But it's really taking people along with you and putting that ethos in place and raising their own aspirations, and I think we're succeeding in doing that. And if you look at all the teaching observations that we've done of late, there's more aspects of outstanding than there was previously. We just had 2 teachers, now it's almost becoming across the board. Our progress rates show that the teaching has improved, because in some year groups we're exceeding the expected amount of progress, and progress across the school is good as well.
But are you, sorry about emotional blackmail here, but are you, as a young go-ahead deputy head, are you the type of teacher that we all fear Thurrock will lose?
I don't think so, because in some respects Thurrock is a very good place to work, because you've got the opportunities to be developed. And obviously, talking personally, I've been developed here since I was an NQT. We've got a good NQT programme in place. The LA are now developing good training for middle leaders and deputy heads, going on to headship as well. So I think they're doing their best to retain us. And personally, I wouldn't want to work in a very leafy, suburby sort of area. I'd want to work in a challenges area where you had challenges to overcome and you could see that you'd had an impact and that you'd be successful. So I'd be very happy in staying here. On the downside, you have got London up the road,
which is the case for a lot of schools. The raw data that you get in stats, how does that help you?
From the local authority or from outside?
From both.
The local authority data is actually very useful, because it usually comes fairly quickly. So it does help you focus in terms of which particular groups, cohorts, which particular vulnerable groups, say, are not making as much progress as they should be. And it really should support what you already know going on in school, and in most cases it does. I mean, we've done a lot of work in terms of tracking pupil progress, and we actually came up with our own bespoke system here for based on progress points. A lot of schools use what they call Target Tracker, which is an Essex tool. I'm not overly keen on it, I don't think Sarah is either, and we did junk that. It does have its benefits, but I think strategically it's very good. I think at the teacher level it's not so good. We're now moving to using the SIMS assessment package, because that's how the local authority would like us to report our data, and it fits in with the recording of racist incidents, also in terms of bullying related incidents. It makes it a much more paperless process, and it links in with attendance and lots of other areas. I think what should happen is, I think if the leadership team have got the pupil progress bit really good, what both the local authority data, comparative data, and also outside the local authority, such as the Raise Online, which obviously the document Ofsted look at, and also the Family Fisher Trust data, that should just really help to make sure that you're on track to achieve what you should be achieving as a school. We tend to find now that when we set targets for our children, when we get the Family Fisher Trust data, we're not that far off. We are fairly accurate in the targets we set for the children.
Do the authorities take into account if you have a large group of students who come here in reception, not being able to speak English or very little English, and you've got that onus, haven't you? Do they take that into account?
In our case, our children on entry are way below average, and we've got quite a diverse intake here. Unfortunately, Ofsted have changed the criteria that they almost progress isn't as important, it's the attainment. So we're in a difficult situation here that we're having to ask our children to make accelerated progress and attain highly in line with national expectations as well. And I think really the local authority are working with us, particularly in our case, to recognise the difficulties we've got and put things in place to help us overcome that. I think but it's not just us as a school, this is across the rug, I should imagine, that we have that issue. In terms of EL and children with English as an additional language, we haven't really got that much support externally. However, we're very fortunate here that we've got an EL team in place and we've got our own intervention programs, etc. And it's all about that early intervention and putting things in place so it's not a barrier later on through school. And you actually find that a lot of those EL children actually attain very well and make better progress than some of the other children.